Hello, it's Jesus Pop Culture again with Brother Todd. I'm a preacher, but sometimes we're going to be teaching. And today, we're going to talk about 5 things that I did that helped me get in the marriage of my dreams. There was a couple that was married 60 years, and they were asked, what was the number one thing that helped y'all stay married? The answer, communication. So that's my first one. And I'm going to add honest communication. Excuse my writing. Honest communication. Honest even when it hurts. Sometimes it's hard to be honest because you're scared of consequences. But in a marriage, I decided to be 100% completely honest. And never tell a lie. Just be honest with my spouse. Even when it's going to be painful. So the first thing is honest communication. Number 2, appreciate what you have. We got to appreciate what we have. The group in the 80s called Split Enz, their famous hit is I've Got You. And I love the lyrics of that because it really reminds me of what I'm trying to say. It starts out by saying, I've got you, and that's all I want. And I won't forget that that's a whole lot. We got to look at our spouses, and I started looking at my spouse like, that's a lot. A lot of people would want to be where you're at. Think about that. A lot of people would want to be where you're at. A lot of people would like to have your spouse. Appreciate, appreciate, appreciate. Number 3, make up your mind not to cheat. Cheating always happens in the mind before it happens in real life. So number 3, make up your mind not to cheat. So, think about this. Everyone that has ever failed and cheated, it always started here. It always started with a fantasy, pornography, something to that effect. It's in your mind already. I decided to make up my mind before the temptation. Not if, but when the temptation comes, because it will come. So have your mind made up. I find that once your mind's made up that you're not going to be, that's not us. That's not us. That's the thing about it is you got to realize, tell yourself, that's not me. I'm a Christian. I don't cheat. Have your mind made up, and when the temptation comes, you'll defeat the devil. Number 4, let the Holy Spirit work and change it. I have found that we got to submit to the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit is a guide. It's a reprover. He's a reprover. He's here to teach. He'll teach. Naturally, I grew up in the drug culture. I grew up around a lot of bad things going on, a lot of manipulation, a lot of desperation. But the Holy Spirit, when I was 8 years old, I gave my life to Christ. The Holy Spirit has guided me. I haven't lived a perfect life, but I have a successful life. And I had to make up my mind that even in a marriage, I didn't come here perfect, neither does your wife. Your wife or your husband doesn't come into a marriage perfect, so we got to let the Holy Spirit teach and guide us. And the last one is going to surprise you because it may not be taught a lot, but you're giving. Giving. Number 5 is giving. Giving. What do you mean by giving? Excuse the writing again, but giving. My wife has been on board with giving to the church, giving to the poor, giving alms. Every time I've had this crazy idea about giving, she's always been on board, and I appreciate that. The Bible promises you, in the measure you give, in the measure you receive, and I'm going to tell you this, it isn't always finances. It could be a good marriage. So number 5 may surprise a lot of people, but giving. Acts gives us a good example in the book of Acts. Cornelius, his alms that he gave came up as a remembrance before the Lord. And you know what the Lord did when he saw those alms? he bettered his life. He didn't give him money, he didn't make him a millionaire, but he bettered his life. He said, go see a man named Peter. He's going to tell you what to do. And he and his household got Jesus. They got saved. That is much more than money. So number 5, a big one that ain't taught a lot, but you're giving. God will bless you 30, 60, 100 fold, and it ain't always money. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's a good marriage. So these are the 5 things I did, the changes I had to make my marriage, a marriage of my dreams. Every day, every week has been wonderful since I made the changes. My marriage wasn't always amazing, but the Holy Spirit worked on me. I listened to my spouse when I needed to work on something. She listened to me, and we're a good team now, but it's thanks to the Holy Spirit. I want you to think about these 5 things because I'm very pro-marriage. I want to see every marriage work and work for the kingdom. This is Brother Todd. God bless you, my true brothers and sisters.